Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and this is the final reminder for the October Challenge. The October Challenge will end on the last day of October, and I will begin my video in November, so hopefully I can get that out as quick as possible. If you have not heard of the October Challenge, there is still time if you build quick. I'm going to link the original October Challenge video right here. Go ahead and check that out. Basically, the idea is we're going to build a modern version of my favorite childhood set, which is Rocky River Retreat that you see right in front of you here. Today, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of my personal build, and we're going to cover the truck. Well, the truck and the boat. See, one thing about this set, not as a child, but in my older days, that really bothers me is the boat. This boat, though super cool, especially for its time, is a speedboat. And this river looks far too small for a boat of this size, especially with these rocks running through it. So I took a little bit different of an approach to this portion of the build, and I'm going to show you that in this build today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so last time I built a vehicle on this channel, I got a little bit of pushback because I simply built it to crappy background music, and everyone said they would rather hear silence and clicking bricks than the elevator music. So I'm going to try a little different this time. When I did my ultimate campfire video, you guys seemed to like that format, so please let me know below if this is the right way to build a vehicle or if you prefer something else. But let's go ahead and get started here. I've already pre-built some chunks of this. This is the base here. I am going to be using these Technic axle pieces just because I'm using these wheels, which I stole from the Land Rover set. I'll post a picture of that here. And yeah, I took those. I'm not going to apologize for it. I needed good wheels for this vehicle. So the idea I was going for here with this vehicle was I wanted it to be a family vehicle, but a little bit off-roady and rugged without being crazy. It's supposed to be kind of like a family vacation type situation here. So, first we're going to put on some fender flares. Those are just going to stick right over each of the axles. And these are the shallow fender flares. They're not the full coverage ones that go all the way down. So they're kind of the newer version. At least I think they're newer. On the front here, I kind of pre-made this chunk. It's just a 2x6. A 1x4, a couple plates on top, and basically this is just going to make up the front of the vehicle here over these front fender flares to hold our bumper on the front there. I've got the sides here pre-made, just plates, and these upside down slopes work really well around fender flares. I'm sure you've seen that in sets before, and they're just going to stick out just like that over those fender flares. Same thing here. And it's starting to look like a vehicle. I chose this lime green color because I thought it looked kind of sporty and outdoorsy, but still kind of flashy. You know, the mock is going to be a lot of greens and browns and grays because it's outdoors. So I wanted something to stick out like it really looked man-made. And that's how I settled on this color here. I also wanted to get away from the original yellow just to kind of showcase some of the newer colors LEGO is doing and not just the original few colors here. I took a little different spin. I've had so many great entries already, and it's really interesting the directions you guys have all taken this in, because some people wanted to go very similar to the original, but just updated, which is awesome and super cool. Some people kind of changed the theme on it, and some people are going completely modern and changing everything. And I'm not going to totally tell you what technique I'm doing, but this might be a decent hint, so you can kind of see what I was going for here. This rear bumper piece I've already got kind of assembled here. I didn't want to make this video too long clicking all these little pieces together, and honestly I probably would forget how some went together and it would look kind of awkward on camera. But I got snot pieces here, some taillights. I made this kind of bumper here out of brackets, and little clips on there just to look like some attachment points, and that's just going to stick on the back of the vehicle. I've got this nice large bracket for the front. And then for my front bumper, I have headlights here and a grille. And then below, I have just kind of a dark gray couple of slopes, tile in the middle. I put these bars underneath because it kind of sat up too high without it, and a couple of brackets here to hold those bars underneath. These are both going to be attached just like this, and behind them I have these slope pieces, and these little orange trans pieces are going to act as the little side lights or turn signals right back there. And there's my bumper, and that'll just fit right on the front of this and line up nicely with the parts I've already put on there. I'm just now realizing I have this piece in the wrong place, so excuse me, I'm going to move that forward. And next, just a few interior pieces. I didn't go crazy on the interior because it's really just for this mock. I decided to make kind of a big, comfy, leather-looking chair with some armrests here. Just some ingots on top of some plates, 1x2s and a 2x4. That's just going to sit right down here in the middle of the vehicle. And then I decided to prop the steering wheel up a bit so it's a little higher. Just some plates underneath it, and that'll go right in front. Next I can put my wheels on. And like I said, I stole these from the Land Rover set. I just really liked how they looked, so I wanted to steal them. And we're starting to look like an SUV. Next step, I've got some side skirts here, or steps, what do you call them? And these are in pearl silver, just to give it a little added depth there on the sides. And then for our next layer, I've got one of these large hood pieces with a couple more vents on it, and that's going to stick right out over the front of the vehicle there. Next, we're going to add a stripe of dark green. And I thought that was a cool thing to add, just to make it look a little more outdoorsy, a little sportier. And so that's going to run down the back of the vehicle there. And I'm just realizing I didn't need to move that 1x4 plate. I was missing a 1x4 plate. So let me grab one real quick. If you can't tell by now, the amount of pre-preparation and rehearsal I put into a video is very minimal. I want it to feel kind of natural. So I just like to start and just put everything together and talk. And I don't know, maybe you guys don't like that it's not very rehearsed. Maybe you do. But I just think it's a more normal feeling video if it has a mistake or two. So plate here is going to go right underneath the windshield. Then we're going to add 2 of these little, I don't know, do you call those clips? What do you call those? Those are going to hold our mirrors. Uh-oh. And the mirrors are dark gray. Just like that. Next we can go ahead and add these pillars here. I think you call these B pillars. Right in the middle. And those are just made up of a few bricks, snot pieces. These aren't totally necessary, but to be honest, I ran out of 1x1s, and I don't have a ton of bricks in this color, so I just added some cheese slopes there to make kind of a passer, and I think it actually looks better that way. So it worked out. And then these are not the most strong connections, but the windows will then just clip on these snot bricks and face backward, and that's how we're going to get the back of our SUV. In the back here, I've just got another pillar out of 1x1s stacked. Again, I ran out of 1x1s, so sorry about that. And another window is going to go right across the back. And once you put the roof on, these are actually pretty strong. If you kind of push on them, they probably will fall in, but they do stay in place. And I could put some detail in the back, I just haven't. You load it up with luggage or something. Maybe I'll do that for the mock, who knows. On the front here, we'll add our windshield. And then we just need the roof. The roof, I've got a 6x6 plate. I've already laid out a few plates and tiles on top just for texture. I've got another one of these hood or roof pieces. And this is just how we're going to connect it to the rest of the roof. Just like that. And then we're going to put some trim around the roof here. And we have a clip here for our fishing pole. Now, the fishing pole, I didn't have the official Lego string, so I made my own. So that's illegal, but I think it looks pretty darn cool. Couple of third brake lights here up in the top, by the top of the roof. And then we can stick this on our SUV. All right, it's coming along. Last couple details. We have our roof rack, which these pieces are really cool. I think this is a newer piece. And I bought them in silver because I thought they looked good for this. And those are just going to go right on the roof. And because the original has these little floodlights up top, I'm going to put a couple there too. Now, let's talk about the boat. Like I said, my biggest problem with this boat, it doesn't really fit the scene. So, what I decided for this one was that instead of doing a trailer on a speedboat, maybe we just do something a little bit simpler. So I've got a clear 1x2 brick here. Stick that right on top. And then we could put a kayak right on there. Now to finish the look, we got to add a few more things. First of all, under the roof here, I'm going to pop this one out. I'm going to stick my paddle in there. Just like that. And then, to add a little bit more detail, we got to tie this down. The way I'm going to do that, I'm going to pop the center plate off of each side of my bumper. And I'm going to replace it with a jumper plate. And what that'll allow me to do is take short ropes from the front of the kayak to the front of the truck and the back of the kayak to the back of the truck. Now, a little trick with ropes. Don't know if you know this or not. Once they're in place, you can kind of twist them and tighten them. And it works really well. You can kind of balance them here to get the right tightness front and back. And there is my completed new family Truckster. Well, I hope you guys like this video, and please join the October challenge. It's just for fun, but I'm getting some awesome entries, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun with this challenge. So it's not too late. If you build fast, you can still put in an entry. And like I said in the original video, even if it's just a piece of the entry, even if it's just the fire or the bridge or the truck, it's a fun exercise to try to replicate something and add your own spin on it. So that's all I got for this one. Hope you guys like this video. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe because I'm going to do more just like this in the future. And we will see you next time.